Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Journey to Perfection, our talk show where we talk about things that we think Frontier should fix or add in Planet Coaster to make the game even better. This time we have a guest, and it's CleaveTV. Hey Cleve.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Can you introduce yourself for listeners who don't know
Sure, I'm
you?
Cleve. I'm a live streamer on Twitch, and I like to stream construction games like Planet Coaster and City Skyline.
Also joining us on the panel tonight is BlindIRL, Freethebear, and Ferros. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello.
So, as usual, we introduce ourselves first. I'm AdfoTV. I'm still the host of the show. And you can find my stuff on YouTube and Twitter.
Hi. People are just going. Stop. People are fucking with the sheet. Anyways, cut that. Hi, my name is Greg. I stream games on Twitch, and yeah, a lot of Planet Coaster. It's kind of it.
Great. I'm Freethebear. I do YouTube videos as well, and you can find my stuff on Twitter and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Ferros, also known as Sam. I usually do Twitch and a bit of YouTube, but I'm a bit MIA at the moment because of uni work, but she'll be back soon.
So, before we start, stop adding the shit.
Of that.
That's really, guys.
Can you stop it? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna change the size of this so I can't see it. Okay, there we go. We're good.
Like there would be 12. So, first of all, corrections. We talked about the TegidCam and we thought it was gone. No, it isn't gone. It just changed the way it's triggered. Now you just rename a guest or an employee of your park.
Can I say that I like that change? Because it goes back to how you enabled cheats in the old games, too. Same way.
Yeah,
Kind of cool.
but next time tell us. Please.
What's quite funny about that is Bo posted, I think it was Thursday on the official forum, that they are looking into it and trying to bring TegidCam back. And I was sitting here today reading the comments after that, and I was like, should I tell them that's still in there? But I decided to not. So, yeah, I'm a dick. So what?
They probably know what's in their game. Was there like a stealth patch or anything? Did anybody notice anything go through?
Maybe it was like a literal Easter egg for Easter.
Huh.
No? No? Okay.
Why don't they just make the...
I bet they added some cheats, but we didn't find out yet.
Maybe there are other cheats.
Ooh.
Good point.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. A cheat that gives us fireworks.
God.
Let's start with the first topic. Cleve.
I have the idea that I want them to add a simple cloth simulation to the game for flags that are affected by gravity. I don't think it needs to be too complicated. Like, the cloth doesn't need to collide with like guests or even like existing walls or anything, but I think just the ability to have a cloth attached to like a metal pole and be able to orient it in any way, like as a flag, would be really cool, especially if it was colorable, there was different textures for it. Stuff like that.
I've wanted to have that with ropes for forever. I've wanted to be able to just click somewhere and have a rope appear and then tag it somewhere else. But
I think they would be able to use that for that too, yeah. So it would be the same simulation, essentially, just a small cloth.
So are you thinking a fully fledged, like, complete simulation or, like, presets that have multiple presets?
Well, I mean, there's no like wind or anything like that in the game as far as I could tell, but I mean, just in terms of like having the cloth just be able to lay and be affected by gravity would be a big change, because there's flags in the game right now, but like you can only hang them like horizontally. You can't if you hang them vertically, they just stick out like they're made out of plastic. It just looks kind of weird. Like, they did add a new flag with the go-karts.
I imagine if they were going to do it, they would have like 10 animations that it cycles through or something, just so it looks like it's a simulation, but it's not.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool if they breathe. Just like the trees do the exact same thing.
yeah, I was just gonna say, if you actually had like physics simulation in there, the like amount of CPU usage you'd have would be kind of scary if you had too many flags.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you know the roller coasters do already, right? Maybe this uses like, I don't know, 5% of what the roller coasters do, but you have 50 flags. stuff's gonna start exploding.
I mean, things already explode in this game when you have too much of them. What's one more thing? I want it to look cool.
True.
I wouldn't be a fan of animated ropes.
I don't ever want them to move. I just want to be able to draw them.
Oh,
that's it.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good idea.
So you can make just a vector between 2 points. Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Yeah, but no.
I also want that with like chains and the cables.
I think that's a good idea.
No.
Denied.
I mean, this is what I do to him every time he comes up with something cool, so it's fair.
Mm-hmm. Payback, bitch.
Uh-huh.
Okay, anyway, next topic, please. It's Cleave again.
This is kind of hard to explain without visuals, but I'll do my best. I want to be able to create sequences of animations in the game. So I want to be able to make a 3D object in space and give it a keyframe between several points, and then be able to animate it between those keyframes with like orientation and stuff like that. And then I want to be able to attach scenery to that object and have it follow it as the origin point. So you're essentially creating an animation in the game. And then you could use that to like make things go back and forth, make things go up and down, make things go in circles, stuff like that. Did I do a good job explaining that? I hope it's...
So do you kind of mean like the I forgot what the Vide is, but you can make custom sequences on...
exactly.
Which one? It's a flat Vide. I've forgotten which one it is.
Specifically, I'm thinking it would be really useful for flat rides. Like you could have things pop out of nowhere for like a jump scare or something like that. Or you could have something swinging in the distance. Or, creativity is endless as long as you have the system. So I'd love to see something like that. It would sort of be like the beginnings of a sequencer that you could use to create all sorts of things like water shows, fireworks. I don't want to start up a crazy topic about that, but
fireworks. Woo.
Do you mean for like building objects? Or
correct.
For like the already animated objects?
No, for building objects. So like let's say you just take a cube, like you take the scenery object as a cube, and you can say, okay, cube keyframe is for this cube 0 is where it is right now. And then you move it somewhere else. And then that becomes keyframe 1. And then you can give a duration between the two. Okay. And then it'll interpolate the animation of the cube between those 2 points, given the amount of time that it takes to move from point A to point B. And then I want you to be able to attach objects to that point and have the objects move along with it. So like you can take a scenery object that you make out of art shapes or whatever you make, and then you can attach it to that point and literally have it animate around. So you can make like an ice cream cone that goes up and down. So you can, or just as the dumbest example ever, like things that you can't, because the scenery in the game is beautiful, but it's static.
Giant flying shark. But
yeah, you could take the shark arch and be able to make it move up and down out of the water like yourself.
And make it be not terrible. But no, like. I think this kind of goes back to, like, when I think about this, I think about Kerbal, right? Kerbal, I think, is the first thing that comes to mind because it's the kind of the closest thing to Planet Coaster when it comes to, like, creation tools. But you have such a strict piece limit because everything has physics and everything has animation. And because of that, in that game, you're limited to under 1,000 pieces. Really, unless you want to be watching a slideshow. What?
I'm sorry.
Fuck you, bear. You just booted everyone out of the sheet, I think.
I understand what's going on here.
Wow.
Let's try to figure out what just happened.
Thanks, Dad.
Oops.
So anyways, it just makes me think of Kerbal because like you're so limited because everything has animation, everything has stuff it needs to be doing, all those. And once you have that, then your piece limit is limited, right? Like we can have, what was it, 400,000 pieces that you had, Sam, before you crashed the game?
Yep. I think it was around 400,000.
Stress test?
Yeah.
So, like, that would...
It might have been 350, actually.
If you're suddenly animating, like, dozens of those objects, wouldn't that, like, drastically limit the number of pieces you could have? So, yeah, I mean, it would...
Not particularly.
Add more creativity and it would be fucking cool, but... At the same time, suddenly there's less you can do.
That kind of response is kind of counterproductive to like moving the game forward though. Like we have like this, like the whole point of this is to like think about things that like push the game outside of the box that it's already in, right? Like I don't want to like figure out how to like make the box less shitty. I want to figure out how to make the box bigger. I want to figure out how to turn the box into like a cylinder, or add stuff, attach stuff to the sides of it. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get what you're saying, but if it's just a show about, oh, this would be cool, oh, this would be cool, oh, this would be cool, then it would just be us sitting here talking about what would be cool instead of maybe talking about why it wouldn't work. That's just my concern with the idea. I think that the idea is awesome, and I would love to have something like that. I think animating, I don't know, a golf cart driving around or something would be awesome.
Sure,
or animating traffic would be extremely cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's cool.
Having like,
that's actually the first thing I thought of it for, was to make like cars look like they're moving.
Have like, I don't know, hundreds of essentially waypoints where your little cars can drive in and do crazy stuff in your parking lot would be amazing. But my concern is, once you're done animating that parking lot, you can't continue building because the game's going to crash, or your CPU is setting itself on fire. So I'm just looking at the game and its limitations and just being realistic, I guess.
Crushing hopes again.
I mean,
I think it's hard to say. Like, you don't know what those limitations actually are, though, specifically. Like,
no, I don't.
We know that, like, yes, the game feels like it becomes sluggish to work with, like when you reach a certain piece limit, but that
like it just does.
may have more to do with like the way that they're instancing like the pieces into the world than like how like the pieces are actually being rendered, or anything to do with like the underlying simulation. Like, and there could be like a paradigm shift in the way that they figure out how they're going to do that instancing in like 6 months, and it could improve their engine drastically. We don't know. I mean, I hope it happens. Like,
all right, so next topic's mine now. So Tetsu came up with a pretty cool idea today about saving custom coaster elements. Which
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Why is this not in the game yet? Okay.
Yeah, like it could be so useful. I could rant about this like for a long time now. I would just give it on to someone else, giving in some other opinions.
I agree, yeah. I saw the comment as well.
Yeah,
I completely agree. It'd be such a cool thing to have in the game.
Mine.
Then I can use some of your coaster pieces and not have to worry about making a rubbish coaster.
yeah, blueprinted coaster pieces, absolutely.
Holy jeez, if you could make like custom made like packs of like pre-made coaster elements.
I mean, imagine you could not only save the coaster elements, but the custom supports for the coaster elements within the coaster
that'd be so
elements.
Ooh.
Well, blueprints do have
That'd be
coasters
good.
and objects now as well, though, so it is a feasible thing.
Oh yeah, if you
Don't they
could
need to get on
blueprint
this?
objects into that as well.
Sam, make it happen. Not ours.
Other Sam, do it.
Please not.
They'd have to
So-
figure out how to merge like two rides together. I think that's probably the biggest limitation.
Go
As soon as they figure out how to do that, then it'll be able to be possible.
Next one, please. Blind.
Scenario editor. We've discussed this before, but let's just kind of say what would you? Okay, here's my pitch. What would you want in a scenario editor, and what do you think would be necessary for a scenario editor? Adfo, go.
I don't give a fuck about scenario editors.
Short, to the point.
Your tool. Cleave, go.
I'd like to be able to make a park and then give it winning and losing conditions and then just say go for it. Like, I'd like to, place some rides and terraform the map a little bit and then say get 1,000 guests in the park by end of year 1 or you lose. Go for it. I mean, that would be the ultimate, like, 0% basics of what I would want.
Bear, do you care about scenarios?
Okay, so I just had this idea. So if we would have scenario editors in the game and everybody would make their own sort of missions and upload them to the Steam Workshop, we would have almost endless scenarios for the management part of the game, which is a pretty weak point at the moment.
Mhm.
So I would even see that being a sort of fix for a major issue of the game.
Good idea.
Yeah. It would certainly add content to an area of the game that's lacking it.
Yeah, I'd love to make some own
City
missions.
Skylines did the same thing, added a scenario editor, and it breathed a lot of life into the part of the game that was considered dead, essentially.
I would love to be able to build like a half-constructed park and just put in a goal like, finish these 3 roller coasters.
Yeah.
To be honest, I really like that Ferris wasn't even asked.
Sam, what's your opinion?
I was going to say the same as Adfo anyway, so don't care.
And thinking about it now, yeah, okay. I personally don't care about scenarios because I'm more the sandbox mode guy. But thinking about casual players, yes, please.
There's literally hundreds of thousands of people that bought this game that would like something like that.
They would jump on
exactly.
scenarios like in a heartbeat.
You know, like I think it's when I get casual players in my chat, I think it's the most common thing that's said. It's like, oh, I stopped playing Planet Coaster after 30 hours. It's like, well, why? There's too much freedom.
The interesting thing is that it also blends both worlds. Like, you could have a really hardcore designer player who wants to come in and make a beautiful scenario and maybe like leave, like, they design area A and area B and like area C is just empty and there's this huge disconnect between the two, and then they give it to the casual player and say, hey, how would you fix this? You know, like, what's your idea? And it sort of gives, it sort of opens up their creativity, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, I retract my statement then.
I mean, wouldn't be a thing for me because at least Cleve and Blind knows how it ended from my try doing a map for a park. So
145 hours later. I got the river
guys,
done,
I'm
guys!
just placing little pebbles. Don't worry. 2 or 3 more weeks, I'll be done with the pebbles.
If we get a scenario editor, Adfo is not allowed to make scenarios. Everybody would be like, why does this game run so badly?
Okay, so the next one is my one. It's, I think it was done in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but it's reskinning workers to the vendors, janitors, and security. Basically just having them having different colour schemes for their clothing and whatnot as well. I just think that'll be a nice addition to the game. It adds a bit more variety into the park.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. I don't know what anyone else thinks about it.
When you said skinning them, for a split second there I had this image in my head of a bunch of like, I know, but like it stuttered on my end and all I heard was skinning, so I just had this image in my head of like a bunch of skeletons walking around your park. Like,
I don't want to make Silence of the Lambs park. I just want to give a little bit of variety to the workers.
I just want like some Silent Hill shit going on in here. Like, can we just like some fleshy beasts just like walking around, just like pissed off because there's trash everywhere. Sorry, I want this in my life.
I mean, maybe for a Halloween special, maybe for some Halloween content.
That'd be quite cool if they had different skins for events. So like janitors wore Halloween.
Theme it by holiday. Oh, that'd be great. I really want a Santa janitor now.
And vendors can wear like Santa hats and stuff.
How about a King Coaster that's actually just a giant pumpkin instead of a golf ball or whatever he is now?
Just
but for Halloween.
Nice.
That actually would be pretty cool. I mean, we already have the festive King Coaster.
Yeah.
I think those skins would be a great addition for those mini in-game purchases they announced.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Easter Bunny King Coaster. Come on. Anybody?
Just massive ears.
Just like huge ears and a giant tail. The tail's like as big as him. Big.
I mean, the animation should be in the game because of the Cosmic Cow mascot, right? I mean, it's jumping around like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, actually. He's just hopping around. That mascot's nightmare fuel, by the way. I just had to add that.
So, wait, Bunny King Coaster's nightmare fuel and the skinned employees.
Nah, that's
okay.
fine.
No. Cosmic Cow is nightmare fuel.
Yes, I agree. Totally. But just to work off of what Sam said, in all seriousness though, being able to change color palette would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
I want pink everything.
I mean, especially if you could, you could give, you could theme, janitors to like the areas of the park where they work in. If you have like different color palettes in different areas, stuff like that.
When you guys say purchases, this is actually something I'd like to talk about later if we have time. I kind of just hope that they don't go the route of here is a pack of X thing, $5.
Do you want things to be like, here's one thing and it costs 10 cents? Is that how you want it to be? So you can cherry pick?
No, I want them to be, here is a year of content, $45.
Okay.
You get everything.
What would you think about having it like similar to how Dota does it, where you can buy items from the Steam Workshop and stuff like that?
No.
So you can get like an item for 3p?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just like things really cheap.
I hate that method. I think it's awful.
What is that P you're talking about?
Pence.
Sorry, yeah, English money.
it's funny Monopoly currency. Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
I think that is kind of a slippery slope where if it's individual items.
I think we should talk about purchasable in-game items and DLCs another time. Because it's a really big topic, and
I think you could do an entire show on it.
Okay, so Cleve's topic is next.
Can we skip me and you do yours, and then because the two are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, true. So. Water sucks. That's my topic. The water in the game is terrible. It's just
I like beer more.
Like it's just well, obviously this beer that I'm holding is beautiful.
Visually, it's beautiful. You're not.
I just want it to behave like City Skylines water. That'd be the best.
It's beautiful visually, but everything else about the water is just crap.
From above, the water feels like a cop-out.
I'm sort of over them not having fluid simulation, but just like the placement of the water is impossible. Like sometimes I just want to put water somewhere and I can't, and the game won't tell me why, and I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
I've noticed how much Frontier loves Das Valdez, and I've seen him get confused, frustrated, and pissed off with the water more times than anything else in Planet Coaster. The water is possibly hands down the weakest part of the game, at least sandbox-wise, in my opinion. As far as creation tools, we don't have a proper waterfall tool yet. We can make waterfalls because we're creative, and because Fog is a god. But like, aside from that, it's we just water's terrible. I don't have anything else to say.
I'd really like there to be, if it's going to continue to be the way it is, I think they can improve it. Like just give us the ability to like click on a water plane and move it up and down with the advanced move tool. Just let us move the water up and down. Like
can we
it feels like
rotate
a decent compromise, right?
Okay,
so my next thing was let us be able to create a quad of water. Just have it be a water material surface, and just let us be able to rotate it and place it wherever we want. Like, yes. I mean, if water's already going to be fake, let's go the full 9 yards and just let us put fake water wherever we want.
Just have really fake water. No, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on that topic, so please, next one.
Okay, so this is sort of a combination of a couple things, but firstly, I want to see you be able to place park employees as scenery objects. Like, there's so many opportunities in my park where I just want a worker just like standing there to be part of like some sort of like fake scene, to just sort of give them more immersion and illusion of realism, and you can't do that. Like, the only way to do it is with the ride entranceway thing, which I have no idea why is still even in the game. I think they just forgot to delete it because it serves no purpose at all. But it sucks because it has to attach to a piece of path, so you have to like work so hard to get it into the right area, and then it's got those concrete pillars next to him. Like, just give us the people and just let us put them places.
Why don't they let any object in the game be an entertainment point?
Well, you almost can to an extent, but that's sort of like part of the next point as well. I mean, like, you can already make a ride, and you can make a shop an entertainment point. Like, you want like just a building to be an entertainment point.
Like, I want a wall piece to be an entertainment point that I can just stick underground and then just like stick it somewhere.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, something that can't be. Well, I mean, maybe you can. Have you tried doing it with like put the carousel underground and make it an entertainment point?
Yeah,
have you
tried that?
Suddenly
I'm using the CPU of a carousel.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal, but it might work.
That's part of the reason I don't use the system ever.
So my next part of that was like, so we've got the actual entertainment point in the game, but for some reason, AI, like Peep AI, know that this entertainment point exists as soon as they spawn. And like, if you put someone in some entertainment point in some obscure place, they'll walk to it, like for no reason other than like their AI knows that it's there and it's a goal for them to go to. Which sucks, because in my park, I wanted to put, like, entertainment points behind the scenes and have, like, janitors and mechanics walking around, like, in the backstage area. And I had peeps that walked into the backstage area, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you're not supposed to be here. So give us, like, a staff point, basically. It would be a compromise.
Or do not
something that the peeps don't know about, but you can add to a work roster. So it's not perfect for, like, simulation, but for, like, making stuff look cool, it's perfect, and that's what I care about. So
just thinking, like, I don't know if you played Prison Architect before. I assume you all have. But they have a kind of system where you can set rooms to have like staff only and minimum security prisoners and all that sort of stuff. So if you could do on paths, so you go into another menu where you can select certain path areas to have staff only and stuff like that as well.
That would be perfect.
I think staff only path would be harder to implement into the game than staff only sign.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, just like an archway or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that only staff can pass through. Yeah.
I think it would be basically the same, except for the way you're saying it has an object as well as the system that shows where the areas are.
I think they're functionally similar systems, like in terms of how they would actually work.
Yeah, but I want arches.
I just want arches.
Like, you just want arches. Okay, gotcha.
But you'll say that now, but then we'll have like the yellow arch thing again, where you want to remove it afterwards.
No, I don't want a yellow arch thing. Oh fuck. Yeah, you're right.
It's got to be cornflower blue.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I don't want to do another sign with like 400 pieces saying staff only. Please, Frontier, don't make me do that.
So here's the main difference between the two. The thing that you could attach to a path to designate staff only areas is actually a little bit more flexible, because then you could just put them on 2 points rather than having to like redo your pathing if you want to change something to be to staff only or not staff only. Like, you would have to delete the path and redo it and stuff like that. So there's more flexibility with like an archway system, but it might be more complicated to like explain. I guess you could add like an overlay type of mode. I know you guys don't want to talk about cameras because you did last week, right? But you could add some sort of like camera overlay that's like path, and it could show you like green and red, like literally just hide everything but paths, and have paths be green where peeps can go and red where staff can go.
That's basically what I was trying to say about how the Prison Architect people do it, where they have like another overlay where it's like no textures except for it says where certain areas are, but you could have that on paths, so like the whole path is green to begin with, and then you have a blue pen tool sort of thing where you click on the path area, and that limits it to only staff in that area, so it completely cuts off the other people.
It would be kind of cool if you could. It would be really cool if you could paint with it, like when you're painting in districts and city skylines, where you just paint on the map where you want stuff to go. Yeah,
this is exactly what I was thinking.
Sorry.
To completely break your whole conversation, I don't think that all those staff features are needed, because the function staff can make on those certain paths are like really limited. We don't have any interaction with stuff, special functions.
Oh no, there's no reason to do any of this in gameplay at all, other than to just make stuff look cool. It's all about the immersion, really.
Yeah, and that's why I think Frontier wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't sell any copies of the game. Let's put it that way.
The issue that I see here is Frontier's goals, regardless of how good or bad we think it is, the majority of their focus is always going to be on the management mode, right? You know, they add in objects for us, then everything else is just the management. So,
to be honest, it's the weakest part of the game. So I'm not too sure if they focus that heavy on the managing side. I mean, yeah, the managing side is the most interesting side for the casual players, or keep the casual players in the game. But it doesn't look like that right now.
Okay,
TBH.
Look at the only real major thing that Frontier has done for the hardcore community so far, aside from adding more items, is the disable clearance toggle. Every single patch they add in 7 hours worth of 7 to 10 hours worth of what's it called? Missions, scenarios.
And
you need 7 to 10 hours for 3 missions. I mean,
you replay them.
Pathetic.
Not everyone's as good as you, Adfo. Okay, let's put it that way.
Wow.
Also, those things, dude. I watched Doc play through those things, man. I've watched Doc play through those things. Those things, number one, they get hard. Number two, to actually get all of them, they're like an hour plus a piece. I'm not going to say they're fun. I personally think they're boring as sin. But, you know, there is an audience for those things.
Yeah, totally agree.
There are people who like them. And
still, what I'm trying to say is, if you look at Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 or even Parkitect, with their management side of the game, it's way deeper, it's way more complex than Planet Coaster.
Yeah.
What do you have on Planet Coaster? Okay, your ride is broken, you needed someone to fix it. Your bench is broken because your people are unhappy. You can fix it either with someone who fixed the benches or security. And you have some
depth there. I just don't think any of us are the right people to talk about it. And the reason I'm going to say that is because how much time have you spent in Planet Coaster with money turned on?
None.
Hours.
I played like 9 of the first implanted scenarios, and I've got bored really quick.
Okay. Do you have any idea how many balance changes, tweaks, and updates they have done to the UI since launch?
A lot.
Many.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay. They are working on the management.
Oh,
Whether or not you think it's good yet doesn't matter. That is a large focus of the game. In fact, I would be willing to say in an office somewhere in Frontier, there is a whiteboard, and at the top of it, it says, management, fix it. Damn it.
Probably, but it's more, like, the things that they're doing are sort of just fixing the systems that they already have. Like, I have an idea that could just change the way that the game works fundamentally without making it more complicated.
Yep.
Just give workers energy. Give worker peeps the energy stat that the peeps have. Have them have to go sit down and rest.
Like in Park
So you have people... Exactly. Give staff the ability to have shifts so that they have to be swapped out. That right there could add a level of depth.
Going on from what you're saying there, and what Bear said earlier about the staff thing not being useful to have in the game where you can have certain areas, I was just thinking about it as well while you were talking just then. You could have, like you're saying, having areas where they have to rest. You could have, like, you have the toilet blocks where people go into. You could have a staff-only building where staff go into to rest in the staff-only areas. Or you could have tool sheds for gardeners if they put it into the game, or garbage disposal areas in a staff-only area. So there's more things could be added into the game as well.
Give them hunger and have
lawnmowers.
Yeah,
please.
give them a hunger stat and give an employee-only cafe where
yeah.
they have to go get food on their break or something like that.
Cafe? Pfft, vending machine.
Ooh.
Or a vending machine.
You think they'd give them a cafe?
In terms of management, you would want both, because you want the cheap option and you want the extravagant option, right? Because
don't get me wrong, I do see the improvement of the management part in the game, but I still think it's far off what could be possible, and I think they want it to be.
Absolutely.
So don't get me wrong there. Anyway, let's get to the last topic. Again, path. To be precise, the path tool. Alvin DeWitt, who is a great designer for stuff, designing stuff. So make sure to check him out. Big shout out here, dude. He thought about the path tool, which is, I think I can speak for all of us, one of the biggest pains in the ass right now.
One of them.
No, water's worse.
Okay.
One of them. It's one of the biggest
I
pains.
mean, there are no GCIs, so...
Sorry.
You assigned me to that topic. I have to make the phone in my ass.
I'd say path tool is a bigger pain than water.
He had some ideas how to make it better, ? I mean, you guys have all watched the animations he sent me and I sent you. I will show them in the episode right now or while we talk, so please discuss.
The fill tool is one thing I've always wanted. That's all I can say. I've
Fill tool
said
is
about
awesome.
it before on my streams that this would be such a good idea if I could just have this area that I built and just click a button and it would fill the entire area in instead of having to work around the pathway of dodging through paths next to each other and trying to avoid getting grass areas being seen.
You end up with this 1 foot across, like, the unhidden section.
It drives me crazy.
Unpathed section. Stuff like
I just want all of this.
Simple.
I think my response to this is yes.
The one thing that I really, really want is the edit nodes thing, where you can click on a piece of the path and just drag it around like with the roller coaster. Like, make the pathing tool like more like the roller
I'd like
coaster
a
editor.
Bezier curve, I think it's called, thing similar in Photoshop as well. So you can, I don't know how often you use Photoshop,
You
but
click
you can
on
have
point to
there's like
point,
a
yeah.
point, and then there's two points on that point that you can move to. Yeah, having something like that would be beautiful for the path tool.
Yeah, just something that would be really welcome is just some way to manipulate the path after you've put it on the ground, other than deleting it and doing it again.
And then being able to highlight it and blueprint it. And
One baby steps. What were you gonna say, Bear?
I mean, the whole concept looks like it's not gonna happen in this game, at least. But
Yeah.
I think it would be a great feature for Planet Coaster 2. But potentially. Like, I feel like it's a completely finished concept already. I see little to no flaws with it. I would be very happy with this system already.
Yeah, if someone showed me this and said it was like pre-production work for like some sort of city building game, I would say, heck yeah. When do I buy it? Like, it looks good.
I do see the point Bear was making. That's too late to change it entirely for this game. But my thought is there any idea that you think could be possible to add into the game and to add to the current system? Like maybe the fill tool.
I just want the fill tool, please.
I mean, the fill tool wouldn't be that possible, but I'm dragging edges of paths to make them really wide and do pleasures on that technique would be possible, I think.
Also, smoothing existing pieces of path, like to re-smooth it, like the smoothie smooth. I think that would be possible.
Smoothie smooth. Patent pending.
What do you think about giving us an option to make path even wider? Because the maximum is like 10 meters now. I don't see any point to let us select like 20 meters, maybe.
Why not? Yeah.
Maybe you don't need that, but some of the people might as well.
That's what I'm asking you. Why not?
Can we just have a concrete brush?
Yeah.
While we're at it, like, I just want to be able to put concrete places.
The terrain painting in game is really limited.
Sad face.
Wow, that's leaving a lot to be desired, yeah.
Mm.
So one thing that I'd kind of, since we're talking about paths, one thing that I think would be kind of cool is if, like, let's say, okay, we have 20-meter wide paths, and suddenly we can make these massive, like, concrete, like, seas of concrete, right? Which I think we kind of want to do. There's got to be a way to carve out chunks of that concrete, though, to put buildings inside of them that prevent people from walking through them, other than just, like, drawing a bunch of garbage cans around in a circle.
I mean, a simple trick would be just doing it with trash bins. But like, if they would add...
But I want to do it without doing that, though.
If they would add, like, one tool, at least, that would sort of draw you a line of trash bins, but they aren't trash bin objects. They just have the same use.
Yeah, some sort of blocking. Like, there's got to be a way to actually block pathing. That's what I mean. Just, like, carve out a piece of existing path and say this is no walk or something. Yeah, invisible wall, whatever the system is.
To be honest, I'm quite sure that would be a thing that would be in the game instantly with mod support. It's like, really,
Probably.
It's the second thing after more foliage that will be added.
There would be like 70,000 new trees and then this. Yeah. Because any idiot can make a tree. And most of the trees would be terrible.
There's tree generators I've seen online.
I still like the idea to send N7 over to Frontier, and maybe we should do change.org and start a crowdfunding for the flight over.
We should fully do that, like, no joke.
Like what? The flight or?
No, at least starting a petition to show them we want people to make content for this game. And it has worked out in past games.
Even if they go the City Skylines route where they like sell those packs for
so
cheap.
Guys, you heard it here first. Bear is starting up change.org. The link is in the description.
Now you've got to do
Sign up if you want more trees.
I'm 17. I can't.
Well, looks like Adfo's doing it then, so check in the description.
Yeah, it's Adfo.
Yeah, yep. Adfo just volunteered.
So it's never gonna happen. Thanks, Bear. for being 17.
What is happening? Are we done or?
Yeah, I think we are basically.
I think you need
done.
to pee and.
No, I was
time
peeing.
Yeah,
No, he went already.
Oh,
he
you
went
Yeah,
already.
and I've got myself
Okay.
another beer.
He doesn't listen to anyway, so. it's fine.
Adfo just wanted to bash me at the end of the episode.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my Canadian authority here to say it's
Sorry.
time for us to call it a day.
And
Yeah.
And fuck you.
so before we sign off, we introduce ourselves once again. I'm AdfoTV. You can find my stuff on YouTube and Twitter. Not on Reddit. Don't look for it. I've got comments.
People steal it and repost it on Reddit.
No, really, I've got comments about the Reddit thing. Like, I've searched for you on Reddit and you posted like 3 things. And I was like, oh, god damn it, stop it, please. So,
Adfo.
don't do that.
You could edit it out.
Yeah, but that wouldn't
could've.
be so funny.
That's work, though.
Yeah.
Plus that. So, anyway, Blind is next.
Hi, my name's Greg. The internet calls me Blind. I stream a lot of games on Twitch, and me and Cleve run a Planet Coaster showcase every other week on Tuesdays. Keep an eye out on Reddit and Twitter for that, for the submission forms for that.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Freethebear. You can find my stuff on YouTube and Twitter. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Adfo's Reddit stuff. Like, he's doing some amazing stuff.
Screw you. Go to bed.
Oh my god!
Moving on to Sam.
Yeah, I'm Sam Faros. You find me on Twitch or YouTube, but mostly on Twitter at the moment because I'm busy doing university work. So I'll let you know next time I'm streaming on Twitter. But yeah.
Stuck in uni hell.
Yep.
Guys, I'm Cleve. I stream 5 days a week on Twitch at twitch.tv/CleaveTV. And I'm on Twitter. And I'm also sometimes on Reddit as well.
As much as Adfo.
I chat with Adfo there quite frequently, actually.
I will insert an email address right here for you guys to send in your projects for featured creation for the upcoming episodes. So please send your creations if you want, of course, to us.
Fancy.
Also, if you have anything you would like to complain about, send complaints as well to that email address. And we
No,
might read them out on air. No? Oh.
No, but write it in the comments down below.
Simple.
Adfo actually has a special subreddit that he goes to every day where you can see.
Yeah.
/our hate. What?
That needs to be said, doesn't it?
In the description, a link to change.org for kicking out Bear out of the team and not having Cleve again in the show.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much for watching A Journey to Perfection. It's been fun, and Adfo's going to say goodbye now.
Exactly. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you have any suggestions, ideas, or whatever it is, just let us know in the comments down below. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.